Hi everyone, I am Nishan Mukha and today's topic is two types of IP addresses, the IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, let us get into the topic. We'll be knowing everything about IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, now first of all, we need to know what is an IP address. Means every device we will be having in the means if we consider an institution, there will be a number of systems present in the institution and it will be being used. So all these systems are identified using a special code called IP address. This is called IP address. And here there are two types of IP addresses. First one is IPv4 means and IPv6. First of all, we'll get into the topic IPv4. Here in the IPv4, we will be having five types of IPv4 classes. Those are class A, class B, class C, class D, and class T. Now, here the difference between IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, an IP address is an identifier for a particular machine on a particular network. It is part of a scheme to identify computers on the internet. IP address are also referred to as IP number and internet address. The internet portion of the IP address is allocated to internet service providing ISP by the inter-NIC under authority of the internet assigned number of authority IANA. ISPs then assign the host portion of the IP address to the machines on the networks that they operate. Which section of the IP address represent the network and which sections represent the machine will be depend on what class of IP address is assigned to the network. IPv4. It is a 32-bit number represented in 4 decimal number where each decimal number is of 8-bit means octet is separated by a dot. First, representation known as dotted decimal representation. IP address consists of two components, the network ID and the host ID. Network ID. It is the number assigned to a network in the internet, and host ID is it represents the ID assigned to a host in the network. IPv4 allows 2 power 32 unique addresses. Which section of IP address show the network ID and which section show the machine or host ID depend on the class network. Here there are 5 classes of IP addresses. Class A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Here, if we look about class A, the first byte is a network ID and the last 3 bytes are for host ID. The first byte is 0, range of the network member 1.1.0.0 to 126.0.0. Number of possible networks 127 means 1 to 126 usable, 127 is reserved, and number of possible values in the host portion is 16777 to 16. It is used for large network. And class B, the first 2 bytes are the network ID 16 bits, and the 2 bytes are the host ID. They are also 16 bits. The first 2 bits are 10. Range of the network number is 128.0.0.0 to 191.255.0.0. Number of possible networks is 16384. Number of possible values in the host portion is 65536, used for medium sized network. Class C, the first three bits are network ID, means 24 bits, and the last one byte is for host, that is 8 bits. The first three bits are 110, range of the network, 192.0.0.0 to 223.255.255.0. Number of module network 2097.52. Number of possible values in the host portion is 256. Used in the local area network LAN, local area network. Class D, an IP address which belong to class D as the first octet has 4 bits set to 1110. Range of the network number is 224.0.0.0 to 239.255.255.255. Class D is also used for multicasting. Class E, it is reserved for experimental or for future testing purpose. Range of the network can be 240.0.0.0.02, 255.255.255.254. Now, when we go for IPv6, here IPv6 will make use of 128 bit. One second, let me write. IPv6 will be IPv6 will make use of 128-bit IP address. An IPv6 address is represented as 8 groups of 4 hexadecimal digits, each group representing 16 bits, means 2 octets. The groups are separated by codes. Example 200080DB8.83000000008A2E:00370:7334. Here, difference between IPv4 and IPv6 addresses. Addresses are 32 bits, means 4 bits long, 4 bytes long, and here in IPv6, addresses are 128 bits long, means these are 416 bytes. Now both routers are sending host the packets. Routers don't fragment the packets, but sending host fragment the packets. Header includes a checksum, header doesn't include a checksum. Here, classes of addressing are ABCDE, and here classes of addressing are unicast, anycast, and multicast. Configure either manually or through DHCP. Don't require manual configuration. Must support a 256 byte packet and must support a 1208 byte packet. IPv4 addresses uses the dot decimal notation, and IPv6 address are represented in a hexadecimal colon separated notation. Not suitable for mobile network. IPv6 is better suited to mobile networks. IP address space is small, means 232, and larger space in IPv6. Here, Internet Protocol Security IPSC is mandatory in this, and IPSC is optional for IPv6. An IP address is made up of 4 bytes of information expressed as 4 number between 0 and 255 shown separated by periods. And an IPv6 Address is represented by 8 group of 16-bit hexadecimal values separated by colons. Yeah, that was good. Okay. Now these are the major differences we come across when we consider IPv6 and IPv4. Means these are the main things that we need to consider. One of these identifying protocols or what. Here two versions are there. Is all the summary for the topic. And here generally when okay, let's consider means let me explain you in a simpler way how to identify IP address. Means it's not about identifying but understanding the concept of IP address. If we consider we humans will be having different names, means unique names for different people. Means your name can be X and others name can be Y, and some others name can be Z. And we use it to identify them with their unique name called X or Y or Z. Same way, even in when we consider a computer network, there will be existing many devices in different networks, and when we wanted to means identify uniquely a particular device, then we use this IP address as the base for identifying and for doing any operation. So that's why even not only means computer network in the sense not only systems but even the mobiles or any other electronic devices. That's the end of today's topic, class. And thank you.